Welcome to the BVTV Network, coming to you from the UK studios of BizVision. I'm your host, Malcolm Gallagher. This is episode 3 in the BVTV Trilogy with Rob's School of Music founder, Rob Spampinato. Hello for the final time, Rob.
Hello, Malcolm. I'm ready to keep talking. I'm loving this.
Right. Well, I'm thoroughly enjoying it, but who wouldn't enjoy a conversation about music? Oh, no, maybe my wife, who's a lot younger than me, who likes George Ezra, and I'm still stuck with Roy Orbison and people like that. There is a gap, but music's a good bridge, isn't it? Rob, as I said at the end of episode 2, anyone, anywhere in the world can now benefit from your skills and experience. Technology has been the enabler for your online lessons, but as a visionary entrepreneur, where and how would you like to see it developing? For example, could your virtual lessons be part of a Rob's virtual band? Do you think you'll be coaching pupils, as I just said, with the Metaverse in the future, but how would it work? And, Rob, right there in your room, encouraging and you via an avatar, a world away from the bands who used to have to record to cassette tape as a demo. So what's your thoughts?
It's interesting because when we first started this, Zoom was behind, and it's come a long way with how the audio sounds. And there have been a few companies who have started, and I've tried a bunch of them where they're trying to get the audio to sync better. And there are a few that have achieved it. There's one that I used called Rock Out Loud, which you could literally, if we're both hardlined into the internet, like Ethernet plugged into the computer, and we both wear headphones, we can jam in real time. If we have optimal internet speeds, literally, like I play the guitar, you play the guitar, and it's like we're in the same room. But it's still not quite there with the technology. I think in 12 to 18 months, we're going to be in the metaverse. I think Apple is going to release their own version of some sort of VR headset, which is a little less clunky than the Oculus, because the Oculus, it sticks far from your face and be awkward, I think. But even still, it's definitely coming, and I'm excited for it. As I mentioned in one of the previous chats here, we've always been tech forward. That's always been a part of what we do. So I look forward to being able to take that interactivity literally into someone's bedroom or living room and hanging out and jamming like we're in the same place.
Yeah. There's more to it than just playing, though, isn't there? There's also writing music and strumming along. I watched all the old movies where the guy's sitting there saying, "Oh, I've got these words now. How do I put it to music?" and so on. There, do you think that sort of collaboration can occur?
Yes, and it's funny you say that because myself and my girlfriend, we make music together. We just put out a song called Going for the Gold. Our band's Heated Exchange. We wrote that with a girl in Connecticut and another musician in Utah. And we did a lot of Zoom calls where we were just kind of collaborating and writing the songs. I think in the future, when it feels as though you're truly in the same room together, being able to read each other's energy, it'll just increase that to almost being the same exact thing as sitting physically in the same place. IRL, in real life, as they're abbreviating that now.
Yeah. I tell you what, let's be a little bit fanciful about the future as well. The world is a strange place at the moment. The tension in Ukraine between Russia and USA and UK, climate change, all is creating a huge amount of uncertainty. But music is a great leveler, isn't it? Yes. Do you think that music can play its part in peace?
I sure hope so. I think some of the best songs ever written are the ones that invoke change in the world. And I think, we're coming through. We're in the middle of, and hopefully on our way out of, at least one part of the hardest part of our lifetimes. But now, as we look into the things going on around the world, there's definitely some tensions that could mess us up. I do believe that music, it heals because it's universal. It's a universal language. You can hear a song and not know in a different language. I follow this Italian artist. I don't speak Italian fluently at all, but the sound of the words is pretty and the music is fantastic. I have a friend who works strictly in Indian style music. So it's a completely different scale. There's microtonal. So the notes are notes that I can't even access on my guitars, but it doesn't matter because it makes me feel good. And that's all we want. We want to feel good. No one ever picked up an instrument to have a bad time, period.
Yeah. And if you need any help on the Italian, don't worry. I'm fluent in Dean Martin's Italian love songs, Arrivederci Roma. Spot on.
Yeah, that's what I've got there.
Yeah. But it is a great leveler. And so somebody coming along to learn via you, with your help anywhere in the world, to learn to play anywhere from anywhere in the world, they're actually helping themselves help others, aren't they?
Totally. Because you're just creating this bridge. You used that earlier. I love that. Music is a bridge, and you're just creating this bridge where it can take you different places. And you never know, a song that's written, how it's going to affect people. I have a friend who wrote a song 15 years ago, and it was a great song, and it sat in a music library and nothing happened with it. And then randomly a music director for a cartoon picked it up and it blew up. And now, like, I have students 5 years later still like, can we learn this particular song? Night Begins to Shine is the name of the song. And like, I'm like, oh, I know that guy. And then he'll come in and talk to them, and their lives are changed because they're meeting a rock star from a guy who wrote a song before they were born that nothing. So you never know when you're going to do something, and it's going to do something. And that's the purpose of playing music, and why you should always be creating and making music and just putting it out to the universe. You never know.
Yeah, I think that's exciting. I did interview a year ago a guy who only works 2 hours a day because he writes music for trailers and music things like that, and that's all he does. He just sits a couple of hours a day, and that's all he ever does, making a lot of money. Very nice, very nice indeed. Yeah. And things like TikTok, are they also now opportunist for people to make money from music?
Definitely. TikTok, they just recently, within the last couple of months, forgive me if that's an inaccurate statement, but recently they started advertising. And advertising is truly how these apps and these new forums allow to other people to come in and sort of monetize what's going on. I've watched, it was that Fleetwood Mac song. I forget the name right now, but that song blew up on TikTok, and all of a sudden that song jumped up on the charts, and then Fleetwood Mac made some money, and then all these people want to play it, and all of a sudden an old song is a new song again. And I think that's that cyclical thing, and I think social media can do that in a tremendous way, because people are a lot of kids right now want to learn Never Gonna Give You Up, Rick Astley, and it's like, okay, cool, that's a great song, but that came out a long time ago. But it's just something will be in a meme, or something will be used in a reel, or something will be used on TikTok, and it just grabs on, catches fire, and then boom, it's right back.
Yeah, that's why I'm keeping all my old 45 records. They're in the loft. They're in the loft, ready for the next purchase. Thanks, Rob. Now let's give viewers and listeners details of your URL, your website address, which obviously viewers you can see on the screen behind me. But for listeners, let me spell it out. It's all the W's, Rob's, ROBS, schoolofmusic.com. So don't forget there's 2 S's there, robschoolofmusic.com. Go there and find out not just more details about Rob and his huge mix of music learning, but also details of these online lessons. And you've been listening to us talking not just about the lesson itself, but also about the many and wide benefits that learning to play an instrument can bring you, from relief of stress to perhaps even making some money. Now, I think at my age, there's not much hope of starting a career as a rock star because I couldn't fit into the trousers, that's for certain. But what I've learned from this trilogy is that age or location doesn't matter if you aspire to be proficient with a musical instrument, thanks to Rob's online lessons. So thanks, Rob, for a great BVTV Visionary Entrepreneur Trilogy.
Thank you so much for having me, Malcolm. This has been a blast. I really appreciate your time. Thank you.